Hello, hello. I think it's connecting. Let's see. I got volume. Hello. I don't have my phone on me. That's all right. I don't need it. I don't need it. Everything is good. Hey guys, happy Thursday. Popping in tonight to do a craft along with the extra craft, something new that we're trying. And it's a kind of a reward system. So if you haven't seen the posts about it, if you finish your joy box and post a picture in the group, either under my post or just an individual post, it doesn't matter. You will get a extra small little reward craft surprise in your next box. One, it just helps. My goal with that, I guess, is to help you guys post in the group and become active in the group and inspire one another and be inspired. Two, to reward you to do your project. I know we all get busy and it can get really hard to do your projects or find time to do them. So just a little reward system to do that. And so we'll see how it goes. We did have somebody post, Joy, posted her finished project. So she'll get her surprise craft in the next month's box. So anyways, I was trying to think of different ways that we could do the surprise craft. Excuse me. And I came up with this. So this is going to be just a little frame that sits down in here, right? And the little bird allows you to pop this out. So this is going to sit in here. And essentially, if you finish your craft, you'll get another new little insert for this guy. And it will coordinate with that month's project. So something fun, little, that you can complete within, 10, 15 minutes. Little extra. And, let me know your feedback on it. Maybe that adds too much stress to it. Now I have another project I have to do and I just really wanted one. Or also let me know if you feel like you have enough time or don't have enough time in the confines of 1 month, things like that. So this is something new, and so we do have to, work together and figure out the best method for that. So please give me your feedback. You're welcome to just message me, email me, or post in the group, however you feel. So I'm going to start by painting my frame, and I'm going to go with a distressed black color. I don't know why I'm kind of on this black kick, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to use a regular brush for this. It's a big enough project. And I am going to paint the inside of this because I thought, well, what if I don't want to have anything in it? Or, I'm in between holidays or something. I mean, you could stain the inside of this and just have it be a bird picture cut out of a bird. So it could be something, I guess if you didn't have an insert in it, you could have it be something. So keep that in mind. Maybe I should have done a stained background and then the frame black, and I could have made it look pretty, but I'm committed here, so we're gonna go with it. So I hope everyone is having a great month. This is the busy time for me, so As you know, we did take, or I took some time off for some much needed R&R, and it was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. And then I come back and I'm rejuvenated, and I come back to the busiest season of the year. So, glutton for punishment, maybe, I don't know. But hopefully this time around, I've got some different tools under my belt to help it be not so stressful. There we go. Or overwhelming, I should say. But school has started, so if you have kids in school, let me know in the comments. But that always seems to be a busy time too, right? So my son ran cross country last year, if you didn't know. My youngest. I have one son left at home. I have 4 kids, and 3 of the others are grown and out of the house now. And so he is the last, the baby of the family. Totally different dynamics than when I had my first. But anyway, so he did cross country last year, and this summer he's like, you know what, I just really don't want to do cross country. I just want to focus on basketball. And we were like, yeah, that's cool. We had our second son was in cross country for 8 years, so it's been a big part of our family for a long time, and we were a little sad, but we got over it. And oh, whoops. He decided last minute to do it. Well, anyways, back to him saying, no, I'm not going to do it. We were sad, but then it was kind of like, okay, I think we can like the fact that we're not go in the fall. It's going to be quiet. He's just going to do some practice with the basketball, maybe, have that, but nothing, too big of a commitment. And then he decides last minute to do it. So we had to do a little bit of a pivot in our mindset and in our schedule, because we had certain things planned, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, we're back to doing cross country meets on the weekend and practices and all the things that come with that. So anyways, it is fine, and we love it, and we are very happy he's doing it, but it was just a little bit of a hiccup there. Okay, so when you paint these, you can paint them to match. I thought I had an idea, but I really didn't. You can paint it to match your joy box, or you can do something totally different. So I did a couple different options, and I'm not sure what I want to do. I think I'm going to do this black. I think I'm going to go black, and then this a different color. So I'm just going to use the baby white, or not the baby white, the little makeup wedge here for my letters. They've already been taped down. So if you're new and you haven't watched any videos yet, masking tape is a huge lifesaver for holding your pieces while you paint. And I typically don't paint my edges of my pieces, especially these tiny, super, actually, I don't ever paint the edges. I don't think there's a project that I've done where I've painted the edges. But you could. It just takes a little bit more effort and time. And so that's just something that I don't mind them being dark. I like the look of it. So just keep in mind that these edges are, it's laser cut, so they are burnt edge. And so if you're trying to paint them a light color, it will take quite a few coats. Quite a few coats to get that if you're determined to have the edges painted, I would even just recommend a spray paint. If it's just a small project and you don't have to commit to a bunch of different colors, maybe it's white, or you could spray them with a primer and get all those edges primed, and then you could paint it, you know, with a brush or whatever. But trying to get in all of those little grooves just isn't something that I want to do. And like I said, I like the looks of that because I like that rustic look anyways. And if it's a dark color on a light background, I think it helps it pop. So I really like that. All right. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go with maybe a distressed white background. I'm gonna go white and black with this. I was gonna do a teal, but I don't know. Maybe I might change the color of the pumpkin, but let's just go with white. So I don't know if you've heard just a little uh, plug about the new product coming out. Um, you guys will definitely be on the early bird list. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say it is an interchangeable. So I'm really digging the interchangeable is kind of similar to this. And it is kind of a smaller project, so something that my goal is to be kind of a 15 to 20 minute project for busy people who are who want to have a little creative time but don't have a lot of time to commit to it. So, and it is so super cute. I am just having so much fun with it. I've painted a couple of the inserts and I can paint them in less than 15 minutes. One took me 20 because, well, I couldn't find the ribbon I wanted, but you know, that will all be worked out. So I think the hardest part will just be deciding colors, but once you get your setup, the idea is that they take less than, you know, 20 minutes to complete. So, and they are so stinking cute. And I'm so super proud that I have like a whole year's worth done, which is huge because then I can focus on other things. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Let's see if anyone has joined yet. Trying to keep my eyes over here on the laptop. Not yet. Okay, I got a little bit of some damp here. Let me blast this with my heat gun. So I got this. It's actually an embossing heat gun from Stamping Up. And I got it at a yard sale. But I don't know if you guys watch crafting videos like I do. Like, it's all my feed is about is crafting videos, right? So, anyways, if you see one of these at a yard sale or a thrift store, they work a lot better than a blow dryer. They just get hotter. So heat will help it dry faster than air. So the air that comes out isn't as fast as a blow dryer, but it's hotter. So it dries it faster. Now, like a hair dryer is going to have like mass amounts of air coming out, but it doesn't get as hot, so it takes a little bit longer. And there was one crafter who actually did a side by side, and the heat gun worked better. And you can actually just get a heat gun at like a hardware store, but that's like big and bulky and huge. I have one for putting together the kits with these, you know, the plastic wrap, shrink wrap around that. And it's big and bulky, and, you know, if you're short on space, nobody wants to deal with that. And these are just nice and small and compact. So anyways, this is it. And you can just get these off Amazon, and they're not, you know, anything. But this was for like an embossing powder. And it's got two. Anyways, just thought I'd share that with you guys. Obviously, a hair dryer, a small little compact or old hair dryer works just as well. Okay, so I'm just sanding the edges of my piece. Obviously, I don't need to do this because it's going to be covered, right? And I'm going to leave that a solid black. But as I sand this piece, I'm sanding the edges, but I'm also taking my sanding block and kind of turning it on its edge to really distress this area. There's a line here. There's also a line here. And it just gives it that look that there is an indentation there. Kind of gives it a little more dimension. And then underneath where that is going to hit. And then the same up here. Let's try and get that. There's a couple lines. So it indents, and then, you know, these two lines or these two steps are kind of like where it would change thickness if we're thinking about more of a circular piece, you know. So I'm going to try and just create a line. See how there's just that little bit of a line there? And honestly, I should probably just, you could just take a sanding paper, fold it in half, and then I could really get into that and create a nice defined line. Oh yes, that's much better. Where I want to show that there is that step in the piece there. So I'm going to grab some burnt umber and throw some dark edges on there. I'm going to use a baby wipe, add a little bit of paint to that edge or the piece there, and then I tapped some of that off so I didn't have too much. And I'm just rubbing those edges, kind of dragging it off the edge like that. If you add the burnt umber around your edges and it just gets a little too dark, once it dries, you can just sand it. So I'm actually just gonna go over the entire piece with that burnt umber and darken up those areas where I'm showing where I've sanded away the paint and I'm showing the wood. Like that. All right, I'm going to throw some glue on this so we can get it to set up. Well, then I'll work on my insert here. Grab a couple clips. Making sure it all is aligned. It's funny how things shift just a little bit once you get those clips on there. It's like, hey, that wasn't like that a few seconds ago. You gotta distress the stand. There we go. All right, let's bring this over. See, I'm afraid though now that it's just black and white that it looks more Halloweeny, right? It does to me. Even though it's gonna say happy fall. So what are we gonna do? Maybe we just need to go orange in the back. Maybe orange polka dots. Ooh, I kind of like that idea. Let's go for that. Okay, so I've got this distressed background. I am going to add just a little of the burnt umber before I put my polka dots on there. Polka dots will give it a fun look to it. Orange will pull it away from being black and white and spooky looking, I think. I think you could get away with the black and white if you if it was clean, you know, not distressed. Maybe. I'm just pulling some of the burnt umber across here. And then wiping some of it away, removing some of it just to give it a kind of a rustic, dirty look. All right. I don't know, guys. I tried to think about what I wanted to do before I came on because I didn't want to keep you guys too long, but I just couldn't think of what I wanted to do. How big do I want my polka dots? Small, medium. So I'm looking through my brushes and looking at the bottoms. Because I like to use the end of the brush handle as a polka dot maker. So there's that size. Do I want to go bigger? And the bigger the brush, the bigger the handle, the bigger the polka dot. Oh, maybe that. Yeah, let's try that. And, you know, polka dots also kind of are a Halloween-y thing, too. I might just be doomed for a Halloween thing. haven't decorated for Halloween in years. I'm sure I've told you the story, but about 5 years ago, I sold all of my Halloween stuff. And it was one of the bigger holidays I decorated for. But my boys were just like, Well, my youngest was like, it's kind of scary, Mom. I must have been decorating really well because he was like, I really don't like it. So I was like, all right, well, that's that. So, uh-oh, we're frozen. No, there we go. Slowing down, freezing, breaking up. Hopefully we can get through it. We're almost done. All right, I'm going to blast this with heat because these polka dots are thick. Let's bring this back. I'm going to stress these guys. A little sanding on the top. Soften that up. Then we're going to add a little brown to them to warm them up. All right, let's see. This is still wet, still wet. I'm thinking I want to paint my pumpkin orange. I don't know. Will it get lost in the... You know what? Let's do this. We're going to cheat. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to let that go over here. Let's go over here. And I'm going to try just painting the back a quick orange coat. Let's see if I like it. And then, whoa. And then I'm not in so much of a commitment. You gotta be careful with this heat gun though, because it gets super hot. Oh my gosh, I gotta show you this. I just had my little bubbles like grow on me. I don't know if you can see this, but that one right there just kind of exploded. It works great, but you also have to be careful when you have like big thick blobs like this, I guess. That's a lot of paint. Okay. All right, do we like the orange on the orange polka dot? I think that would be cute. Or the black on the orange polka dots. I think the orange. We're switching it up, guys. We're just gonna continue putting one more coat on here because I just did a quick messy coat. Oh yeah, like that. Okay, committed. So let's throw some glue on here. It's nice that some of these pieces are, they work on either side. You're probably wondering, how do I even know what side is which? Well, the laser kind of does a little flashback on the back side, so you can see these like little flash burnt marks. That's how I know there's a front and a back there. Let's just get this centered here. As best we can. Okay. So I like to lay out my pieces before I commit to gluing, just so I kind of have an idea. And I think I'm going to do a kind of a messy fall at the bottom. And then the happy, obviously, is kind of curved up around the pumpkin. Like that, I think. Okay. So if you catch this on the replay, comment replay, let me know when you're, I love seeing when you guys are able to watch the videos. It just helps me in determining a good time to catch you guys. I know I won't be able to catch you all at the same time every time, but when I see when you guys watch it, I kind of make note of that and try and do it when it's good for you guys. I know some like days, some like nights, but hopefully we can kind of create a mix. So if you can't catch us at night, maybe you catch us during the daytime one the next month or something. So don't be afraid to try different things on this little piece of art, this little sign. If you have scrapbook paper on the circle would be super for something a little different. And then all your letters could be something that contrasts to the paper a little bit so you can see them all. What do you think? Yeah. All right. So, one thing about this, so this sits in here. You can glue this in, so it's always gonna, be sturdy and in there well. It is a tight fit. I try and make it so it does, take a little bit of work to get in there. If after painting though, sometimes the paint can add a thickness, especially if you're painting the back, which you can do. So if it is just super tight, you can't even get it in there, sand your edges just a little bit, take your sanding block and sand the edges, sand that edge and the back, and smooth that down, and then try again. Do it a little bit at a time. And like I said, you can glue this in to make it something that's always gonna, be on there or not. And then that way you can take it off and store it easier. But this just sits in there and it sits all by itself. It's not going to fall out of there. And then you use that little bird in the back to pop it out to put a new one in. So hopefully we have some fun with that this year, or for however long we decide to do it. And yeah, so that is it, guys. That is our little surprise craft in our September joy box. So I hope you find time to craft this month. Remember to get your pictures posted in the group so that you get next month little surprise. If you're new and you don't have this, your first month's box will contain the frame. So if you haven't got that yet, you will be getting that in next month's box. So there you are, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will chat with you later. Bye.